What's cooking, adventurers? Today I'm letting you in on my personal gearing strategy, a system I swear by for leveling up, especially if you're a fellow free-to-play player. Trust me, it's both rewarding and, dare I say, way less painful when you are grinding your way towards that elusive tier 60 gear. Stick around because I will walk you step by step through my method, spill a few tips and save you some in-game headaches, so you spend more time crushing bosses and less time stressing out over upgrades. Alright, let's get into it. Where are we right now? If you remember from my last video, we've hit progress day 5, we enhanced nothing, 0 equipments, and we were still rocking actually till today that I'm recording this video with the same gear, holding on to some special vouchers, the gold vouchers that you get from events, those ones over here. Why? Because I refused to blow resources until I found the optimal gear strategy. So after a good bit of researching and trial runs, I'm finally here to break down my method for speeding up the grind to the highest end gear, while burning as few resources as possible, of course. Is it the world's ultimate strategy? Maybe not, but honestly it's the one I trust, it's safe and it keeps my stress to a minimum. Let's talk steps. Since clearing Void Realm is a breeze for us now, our first move is to upgrade all the Void pieces from purple to gold. Simple, just do it. You can't transfer golden engravings from your alts to your main anyway, so upgrading step by step is the only play. Heads up, I didn't have 3000 nullification since yesterday, and I was only wearing 2 gear pieces, 2 gold pieces that I crafted from here, and whenever I need that 3000 nullification so I can enter the Void Realm for the weekly, here's the trick I'm doing. I just swap in Purgatory drops just to hit that threshold. Once I'm done grinding, I slip back into my Void set, easy maintenance, no confusion. And don't worry, upgrading Void pieces from purple to gold doesn't break your set bonus. So go wild on those upgrades. Your materials are safe to use here, since you don't need them for anything else anyway. My next goal, crafting my gold seal and talisman. By farming the weekly boss in the Void Realms, that's my main focus right now, and optional tip, the same material will eventually be needed to your level 60 accessories, but honestly that comes way later. Get your seal and your talisman first, they're much more worth it front. Additionally, those specific items offer a high amount of nullification, and if you are still stuck with a purple item, your nullification will skyrocket. Additionally, those specific items, when you enhance them, you get something that only the weapon can provide, and that's P defense red and magic defense red. And it's gonna boost a lot our damage, I'm gonna get to that soon. Now let's dive into Purgatory. Yes, the game mode, not my eternal mood. Quick note, if you missed my stamina video, here's what you need to know. Whether you're farming with your main or with your alts, when it comes to fragments, it makes 0 difference. You can collect up to 435 total fragments across all your classes on your account, not 435 per character, so don't sweat which character you're grinding with for fragments, the limit is shared. But here where it gets interesting, drops. If you've got spare hunting permits stashed on your alt characters, you can use those to farm green stamina here instead of your main account stamina, and the only cuts you need to actually grind to get those permits. But honestly that's not a big deal, and it's kinda of the perfect job for your alts anyway. Why burn out your main when your backups can do the heavy lifting? Green stamina can sometimes net you even better rewards, think the occasional gold gear drop, so sending your alts on a permit quest can pay off. But actually, the twist I want to explain here is a little different. Let's talk strategy, because in theory, your top priority should always be the weapon, right? Here's the deal, the weapon is really the only piece you can reliably farm from Purgatory, and once you get it, you are sticking with it for a long time, at least until the next level cap drops. So, when you do snag that weapon, don't be shy, throw your resources into it, enhance it, slap your favorite insignias on, no regrets. This one's built to be upgraded all the way to the highest versions, so it won't become irrelevant anytime soon. Well, almost no regrets, because this weapon demands 2 2,000 fragments to craft. Yeah, you heard me, 2,000, ouch. Now about the rest of the gear like Vermilion armor, that's my set of choice. And honestly, most players I know will finish their Vermilion set. For other classes, the name is different, but it's the same set over here, before you even start crafting the new level 60 to run epic gear with raid materials. Save yourself the headache and focus on Purgatory for that initial progression. After wrestling with all these options, and maybe losing a little bit of my patience, here's the strategy I landed on. So I can farm everything I need just fine with my current combat power, no real issues aside from the infamous Hex raid. Don't worry, I will get to that. With the weapon being so resource hungry, 2000 fragments, seriously, I realized I could craft 4 armor pieces for the same price. Tempting, isn't it? Now some of you are probably thinking, but isn't the weapon a massive damage boost? Shouldn't you grab it as soon as possible to clear content faster? That's a fair question. But here's the twist. Thanks to the prayer system, you can actually increase your odds of getting the weapon as a random drop, and that's huge. So since my gold isn't a top priority right now, I'm not blowing it on upgrades or stacking it for a rainy day. I've decided to spend as much daily gold as possible to boost my prayer chances and try to bug the weapon drop that way. Besides, I've got some leftover gold gear on my character that isn't for my class, and I use those to bump up my nullification just to access higher end content like the 3000 nullification dungeon or the weekly raid. Once I finally craft all my main void pieces and hit the target for 1500 nullification for the Hex raid, I will dissolve all those extra gold pieces. Doing that gives you special stones that boost your chance at getting the weapon in the prayer pool. The max chance hovers around 11% if I am not mistaken, and that may not sound like much, but with the weapon being as pricey as it is, playing the RNG game can seriously pay off. Meanwhile, armor pieces like the level 55 sets aren't that different from what you'll have at 60, so you don't need to rush and waste materials for minor upgrades. All that said, even if you grind and finally hit those 2000 fragments, don't feel locked into crafting the weapon first. Cycling through legendary drops might hand you the weapon before you drop all those precious resources, letting you then instantly craft 4 epic armor pieces instead. That's my plan for now. Play it smart, keep my crafting flexible, and gamble a little with the prayer before dumping resources. If anything changes, I'll do a follow-up video when I actually hit the 2000 fragments, because let's be real, things always shift in the grind. For now, I'll just hang on to a few million gold for daily necessities, but most of it is going towards boosting my shot at the weapon. And if you're curious where to find those stones and spend your gold, if you visit the Shadow Realm, you can even click on the item and the item will bring you here to the Void Store. You can actually buy with a daily limit those stones as well. However, don't go crazy on it if you're free to play. Let the whales handle the situation better. But still, you can spend some gold, your daily gains, or however you feel comfortable. I'm planning to dump almost every single piece of gold, as we're gonna talk about enhancement in a bit. We are not gonna need gold anytime soon, so buying the stones, I'm making sure that every day I'm spending almost what I'm earning, and as you saw, we are still on like almost 200 fragments by farming the max amount for 3 days now, so it will take us a while till we hit that threshold. Alright, let's get into the Hex raid, because honestly, that's the only thing giving me trouble in content right now. It's not about nullification, I can dodge that by tossing on extra gold gear pieces. The real pain is my damage output. Boss fights drag on longer than my wife's monologues, so this week I had to deal with the final boss at the lovely threshold of 4500 nullification. I crunched the numbers, and with proper gear, not just random pieces, I will hit that mark by Friday. That gives me the last 3 days of the week to speedrun the boss and clear the dungeon with ease. Fingers crossed. Now about my enhancements. They are not exactly legendary, so I decided to drop all my pink vouchers on random enhancement level boxes and funnel those boosts into every piece of void gear I'm planning to craft anyway. Pushing them all to +10 is simple enough, since I've got a ridiculous pile of mat at this point. Easy decision. I need the combat power to blitz those bosses, and the materials are just sitting there begging for a purpose. Today, actually, before I record this video, I was extremely lucky, guys, because I got 3 pieces for my final set. 3 pieces. All those pieces were actually random drop from the Purgatory. Actually 2 from the Purgatory and 1 of the Queen from the Void Realm, the last boss with 3000 Nullification. I was extremely lucky. So what it did, I just equipped the items. Some of those items were already plus 10. And for you guys that you haven't watched my progression guide video, if you go here to the challenge mode from Duel of Bones, you can actually get, not from the elite ones, from the normal ones, you can actually get some specific vouchers for lower level gear. So what I did is use the vouchers to a lower level gear and move the enhancement to a higher level gear. That's why some pieces are plus 8, right? The plus 10 pieces, and this is again insane RNG for today, came from those specific scrolls that the pink vouchers I mentioned earlier, those things right here, and we had plenty of those, and I got actually 20% plus 10 to 3 damn pieces. Okay, yeah, that's why my enhancements are that high. If you notice, we're already stacking and piling up all those plus 13, vouchers plus 12, plus 10, and why we are saving those? The plan for now is when we actually upgrade the gear, and I could dump those to the purple ones, but every time that we're gonna have a good upgrade, like vermilion pieces, right now we got 3, I used the random vouchers. If I didn't achieve the good roll, I would use the bigger vouchers, but I got lucky, got my plus 10, so I decided to wait a bit, since plus 12, plus 13, it's different, yeah, you can get more CP, but not something insane. However, the moment we craft the seal and the talisman, when we craft it, and tomorrow actually I'm gonna have one of those two, probably I'm gonna get the seal, because I'm still stuck with the purple one, and the moment that we get the seal, I'm gonna boost it with the big voucher to plus 12. Why? Because the enhancement of the seal provide us with P-Defense Red, and P-Defense Red will skyrocket our damage. I'm gonna do the exact same thing when we got the other Void Talisman. Those two boosters, I'm gonna use them 100%, those plus 12, to those specific pieces, as those are damage boost. The one plus 13, I'm keeping it for the weapon, of course, when we got our gold weapon. And don't worry guys, because when you actually craft the weapon and use this enhancement to plus 13, the moment that you level up to the next tier and to the next tier, level ups keep also the enhancement. So from plus 13, when you upgrade, it will remain plus 13, and again it will remain plus 13. For the other vouchers, I haven't yet made my mind where we will use them, but as you see guys, we have spent almost 0 resources. If you see my enhancement materials, where are those? Look here, how many enhancement materials we actually got. I am even considering to sell them for gold and buy more of those stones to boost my RNG for the weapon even faster, you know. But still, I think like in 2 or 3 days we can max that by spending our daily gold gains. So that's it for my gear progression plan at the moment. Whether you are a proud free-to-play trooper or you're flashing the $5 battle pass for a little pay-to-win edge, this roadmap works. For now I'll stick with it because, to be real, my main goal is PvP. I'm just tackling PvE content for the extra perks, and because, yeah, I admit it, I actually kind of enjoy the combat, but PvP is king, and gear isn't nearly as important there, so I'm not losing any sleep or immortal beauty over finishing every raid. Appreciate you sticking around to the end, your attention span survived another night with me. Hit that like button or drop a comment if you've got questions. Until next time, try not to get hexed, see ya!